Welcome back. Let's take a look at the latest industry developments today. There's coverage on the Airbus A350-1000 and its upcoming debut in Japan, a very intriguing partnership between a major US carrier and a smaller airline, and then there's also developments at Jetstar in Australia. But beginning with an airline partnership that presents many opportunities. That is Fiji Airways announcing an interline partnership with JetBlue. An announcement is with the view that Fiji Airways can increase its connectivity towards critical North American markets. Thanks to a partnership being signed with JetBlue, guests can be welcomed beyond the US, thanks to 100 domestic and international destinations. These locations include, but may not be limited to, the likes of New York, Boston, Orlando, Utah, and Fort Lauderdale. There are also visible benefits for those needing to utilize the Fiji Airways network as a JetBlue customer. The geographical positioning of Nadi means that Australia, New Zealand, and Asian destinations are within reach. Additionally, there is the ability to explore the Pacific Islands, which offers guests a wonderful retreat. Fiji adds that all of these are accessible on the one ticket, adding that efficiency to the overall booking process. The deal also ultimately means guests can purchase fares on both carriers. This means for customers, optimal network connectivity is on offer. This also includes the through check from the initial departure location to the final destination on the one ticket, with baggage going through as well. As part of the current network, Fiji Airways offers daily service between Nadi and Los Angeles. Additionally, there is service 5 times weekly from Nadi to San Francisco. Ultimately, despite recent expansion, the carrier offers only a modest wide-body fleet, and the interline agreement with JetBlue allows for maximum reach within North America. And all of this is possible without the airline launching its own services to specific markets that either A, may not be within reach, or simply may not be possible due to the amount of aircraft they have. Meanwhile, for JetBlue, well, they get optimal access to Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Island. And given they don't have an aircraft that is capable of doing these operations on their own, they can seek this partnership as an important one. Moving across to Asia, and Japan Airlines is readying for the arrival of the Airbus A350-1000 by announcing the first routes and a date for commencement. From January 24, 2024, Japan Airlines will introduce the Airbus A350-1000 on service from Tokyo Haneda to New York JFK. By the end of the 2023 fiscal year, the airline believes it will be able to scale this upwards to a daily service with the aircraft. The service is going to operate as JL6 and JL7. It's expected the first unit will power the initial route. However, JAL says a second A350-1000 will arrive by the end of March 2024, and therefore it will relieve some pressure on the initial type. Away from the service to New York JFK, Japan Airlines has identified Dallas-Fort Worth as the secondary city it'll serve with the Dash 1000, marking again the second city also within the United States to see this aircraft type, which really indicates the planned operations with the new widebody. Additionally, it highlights the robust capabilities of the series for Japan Airlines in serving new markets with more capacity. Japan Airlines notes that service to Dallas-Fort Worth, though, will only commence once a third A350-1000 is delivered. Therefore, the focus just at the moment will be strictly on serving the New York JFK route as a bit of an introductory to the A350-1000, which, at the end of the day, is still a new aircraft type that they have on their hands, despite previous operations with the A350-900. Japan Airlines' first A350-1000 completed its maiden flight in October as the plane maker and airline geared up for delivery. Currently, there is a commitment to 13 of the Dash 1000s, with the expectation in the long run that the type will replace existing 777-300ERs as almost a like-for-like replacement. When considering the 13 units on order and data indicating that Japan Airlines flies 13 of the Dash 300ERs, it is viewed as a perfect replacement. In the future, it is also the expectation that the A350-1000 will work its way towards becoming the flagship aircraft for the Japanese carrier. All deliveries for the Dash 1000 are also expected to have occurred by 2028, as the series not only drives expansion but also fleet renewal plans. Alongside a first flight of the Dash 1000 in October, the airline did also reveal brand new first and business class suites slated to feature. Japan Airlines says that all cabin classes have been carefully designed and selected. The company wants you to be able to immerse into the elegance of Japanese culture. First class will feature 6 state-of-the-art suites and create a unique environment. For the first time, privacy doors will also enter a Japan Airlines cabin, with the seat having 3 different modes of configuration. The business class will see 54 seats, which is an increase from the previous aircraft it has had. The additional capacity of the A350-1000, given it is a stretch, makes this possible with more flexibility than ever when it comes to configuring the cabin. Premium and standard economy are towards the latter part of the aircraft, and on your screen now, you'll be able to see an overview of the cabin configuration. With 143 in-service aircraft, these A350-1000s represent an exciting new time for the airline as it continues moving towards new twin-engine and fuel-efficient types to power its fleet for decades to come. On to the final story of today, and that sits with Jetstar, that have announced plans to return to pre-COVID capacity in New Zealand, with the boosting of flights next year. Jetstar says that from March 31st, 2024, it'll ramp up its New Zealand domestic network and focus on an international flight increase too. By the middle of the following year, the airline is expected to reach up to 100% of pre-COVID domestic capacity in New Zealand. Meanwhile, its Trans-Tasman service will operate at levels 40% higher than before the pandemic. Domestically, the airline will see substantial increases in flying from Auckland to other major cities within the country. On your screen now are what the airline is planning to offer, with the likes of Christchurch, Wellington, and Queenstown all featuring. Additionally, don't worry, there'll be a focus on Auckland for more Trans-Tasman flying, as demand not only continues to persist, but Jetstar wants to meet any potential future growth that occurs. On your screen again are just some of the services that you can expect, with the likes of Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane all featuring. The summer holidays are typically the busiest for Jetstar, as services are ramped up across the Oceania region, and that won't change this year. Jetstar says more than 180,000 people are expected to fly over the Christmas and New Year period in New Zealand, which represents a 5% increase from 1 year prior. This is also what Jetstar describes as the busiest summer since 2019. The company has massively been aided by the easing restrictions and people's confidence once more in flying. Across the board, Jetstar went on to say it has focused on recruiting more staff members in the most recent year, with a total of 120 frontline team members joining throughout New Zealand. Additionally, they say there is also more staff on standby as Jetstar sees demand soar. Across the Trans-Tasman network, Jetstar went on to say also that its on-time performance reached 77.8% in November, representing the strongest month for OTP since the emergence of the pandemic. They'll be hoping they can continue on an upward trajectory. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. If you have any thoughts on the topics covered, you are more than welcome to drop them down below in the comments. Your support does indeed mean a lot. Please do take care and also be safe, and I'll be sure to see you next time at the same time in the same place for your latest industry developments. And we'll fly.